Hey. Oh, I can. There we go. Oh, I can. There we go. Now I can't hear myself. Hey, how's everyone doing? I did mute the video in the background. It is office hours part 2 of the day. A little chill music right here. Who's here? Who's here? Get some work done. I saw some people were watching. Who's here? Mewbot's here. Mewbot will start giving out some points here in a moment to some people in the chat. What's up, Blake? What you working on, Blake? Let me know what you're working on. You got questions on, we'll get it worked on here. Blake, you're first here. Let's throw you 500 points. Blake, for being first, you get 500 points. If anyone else, speak up quick. Mewbot's about to give out those 500 points in 3, 2, 1. Boom, points in the chat. What's up, Jackson? Might have got those points. I think you did. Mewbot. If you have questions, drop them in the chat right now. We're just working away right here. What questions do people have? Blake, good to see you here. Jackson, good to see you here. What questions do you have? What questions do you have? Last drop of coffee. No more coffee. Coffee gone. If you have questions, just drop them in the chat. So good to see everybody. Once if I click the names. That's what? Whoa, I can do like interesting. I didn't know Mewbot can actually I can make someone regular? I don't know what that does. What happens if I do that? What questions are there? It's just chill time right now. Yeah, I know, right? What happens if I make you a regular, Blake? I'm gonna try this, Blake. I'm gonna add as a regular. Oh, you're not. Wait. Oh, no. Blake has become a regular. Okay. It said you were a regular. I don't know what that means. Huh. That's weird. There isn't any books we need to buy, right? What class? I think the answer is no. The inclusive access is for 201. What class, Blake? As long as you want to say, or you can email me if you want to ask via email. But none of my class. 201 has inclusive access. 320 uses the regression modeling in R. 474 just has the notes. 475 has a PP3. 201 has inclusive access. Yeah. It comes with a digital book. So good question right there. It just comes with the digital copy. So y'all. People getting some work done right here. I'm going to see if... I'm going to do it how. What questions are there? Let me know if you have questions right now in the chat. We're just chilling out. We can do 320, 201. We could do assignment 2 for 201. Might do that here in a moment if no one has questions. But it's your time to ask any questions you got. Ask those questions. And get working away here. I think everything's good to go. Okay. I'm still working on assignment 1, quiz and homework. Do you want to work on that, Jackson? Do you want me to pull those questions up, Jackson? We could work on some of those. There we go. Which one on the quiz and homework? Yeah, let's do that. You got, yeah. Anything you want. Let's do that. Blake says let's do that. Look at that. Perfect. Perfect right here. Okay. Which one are you working on? Just tell me the type of the question. Like if it says like, there you go. Some 201 in the house right here. Should we work on the homework or the quiz? Homework or the quiz? And then you can tell me which question specifically you want to work on. That's all you have to do is just come here and say, hey, can you work this question? I say, you bet. Homework for now, maybe? Let's do homework. Okay. I'll get the homework going. Let me put the timestamp. Start out easy. We like that right here. Let's get it knocked out. Get it done. I should be starting about this time. So, Stat 201. Stat 201. Chapter 1 homework. Okay. Preview. Last time. Stat 201. Here we go. Let's do it. Head to the main screen. It says file not found. I can't get it to load. Make sure, have you connected Canvas to My Pearson? So you need to make sure you go through the VitalSource bookshelf, which is the link, and then you need to make sure you've connected My Pearson to Canvas. You have. Also try logging in. Muskin, great to see you here. Ask any questions if you got it. You can also go over to My Pearson. I prefer to do the assignments through My Pearson. Try doing that. I was entering through Canvas, so I'm going to try to go through Pearson. Yeah, let me know, Blake. That's weird that it's doing that. Yeah. So we'll get this worked on right here, the Chapter 1 homework, and we'll see if everyone's doing good. Ask any questions you got, and let's check it out. Many grocery stores use cards. So what could these stores find out? Well, it says right here, I think they're going to look at their email, their mailing address, all this stuff. So they could know their geographical location pretty easily. Now, the cards are also going to track, like what you're buying in the store, not really your time in the store. I mean, I think personally, theoretically, it could, but they say no. I can't find office hours where you went over the quiz. It's the 29th in the morning, Mason, right there in the morning, the 29th in the morning. So, and remember, I timestamp all videos afterwards. So feel free to click the videos in the playlist for the office hours, and you'll see like the quiz in there. And we can go over someone's earlier in a moment here. We'll be doing that too. Identities of the customers. Yeah, we know who they are. Frequencies with which they make purchases at the grocery store. And I feel like frequencies at the grocery store. Identities of other stores. No. And items they purchase. So that we're not going to know what other stores they shop at, and we probably aren't going to know how long they spend in our store, even though theoretically we could. So that's got that one. How do I put random symbol from jump in a Word doc? Brandon, we'll look at that next here. Great question, Brandon. 100 points. Thank you for asking. We'll do that here next. The next thing it asks, to what reason might we do this? Well, I almost think we could find evidence of shoplifting, but to analyze the prices and how people buy them, that'd be good. To determine how to best market to customers, that'd be good also. To determine the most profitable location for new grocery stores, you bet. Probably not shoplifting is going to be analyzed right there. Probably not shoplifting, but that's just how we use data. Next, we have a question about the Nobel Peace Prize right here. And the big question is, like, who are we analyzing? Now, the who is what we are sampling from. So we are just sampling people who won the what. If we go to each year and we see the winners of the Nobel Peace Prize, it's just a sample of whose. It's just a sample of whose. Like if you go to each year and you look at who won the Nobel Peace Prize, you're just sampling from what? Like whose. I shouldn't say what's, I should say whose. You're just sampling from what's. And Brandon will do that here next. You're just sampling from whose. Don't even look at these answers. The answers are just there to confuse you. You're going to look at each year and who won the Nobel Peace Prize. So the who that you're analyzing would be people who what? People who what? Don't even worry about these answers. You're just looking at people who what the Nobel Peace Prize. Because you're going to just look at samples of people who what the Nobel Peace Prize. That's the who you're analyzing. It'd be people who what the Nobel Peace Prize. The who is the group we're interested in understanding. The group we sample. The who. So if we're going to look at years people won the Nobel Peace Prize, then we'd look at, and Kyle, good to see you here. We'd be looking at, think about the sentence. We'd be looking at who blanked the Nobel Peace Prize in those years. So the who would be who what the Nobel Peace Prize. I guess I might give some hints. The who would be the people who what the Nobel Peace Prize. We'll see what people say. It'd be people who what for 100 points. 100 points. People who what the Nobel Peace Prize. One, Jackson, you got it right there. Great to see you here, Jackson. People who won the Nobel Peace Prize are the who we're interested in understanding right there. You got it. Next, we have here, what is not a what that we're analyzing right here. We're going to go out and talk to people at a coffee shop. And so we're going to ask them questions like, how much do you spend on food a week, which is quantitative. We're going to ask them whether you study in the library, which is categorical. So we ask those questions right there. And we're going to ask them where they live. So the only one we didn't ask them about was literally the coffee shop itself, which is interesting. So those are the whats we are collecting on right there. Next, we have the Postal Service uses 5-digit zip codes to identify and assist in mail delivery. In what sense are zip codes categorical? So categorical just means it puts things into what starts with a G. Categories are just what's. Like if I do hair color or state you were born in, people are just put into these. Hair color, state you're born in, it just means you put things into what if it's categorical. It's responses that put things into what. Starts with a G. Puts things into a what. It's not geographical region, but it is. I mean, this one. Puts things in a group. Blake, great job right there, 100 points. So geographical regions are groups. So it's going to put people into groups right there. Geographical regions are groups. And so just puts people into groups. That's what categorical variables do. And geographical regions are groups. Now you see words like here, like ordinal. Ordinal means we've put things, a categorical variable, into an order, like rare to well done for steak, or freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. Those are groups that have been put in order. If something isn't ordinal, it's nominal, which means it has no order to it, like state you're born in doesn't have an order. Like I know it could be alphabetized, but where we do steak preference from rare to well done, that goes in a kind of gradient. And freshman, sophomore, junior, senior goes from like starting out to being your senior year. And those are groups that have an order. If they have no order, they're called nominal. So like no nominal, it's NO nominal. So no order, where ordinal has order. Identifiers are unique for each and every observation. So for something to be an identifier, it cannot repeat. And identifiers are special case categorical variables. Categorical variables put things into groups. Quantitative variables are actual real numbers. So this one asks, the researcher measures how many seconds. So what would that be? Seconds is a what? A, B, C, or D? Great job, Blake, with the notes in the chat. Another 100 points. Would how many seconds it took for something to go through your bloodstream be ordinal, identifier, categorical, or it'd be, what would it be? Which one of these would it be? And qualitative is another name for categorical. How many seconds it takes is quantitative. Qualitative is all right to say. Qualitative and categorical are the same. I don't like to use qualitative. It's just personal preference because starts with a Q. So I like to say quantitative and categorical, which categorical and qualitative are the same thing, like a quality versus a quantity. That's how you can remember quality versus quantity. Quality is qualitative. Not a huge fan of using the term qualitative, though. That's got it. I think Brandon asked a question about how to screenshot. Let's talk about visualization 1 here, just real quick. Thank you, Brandon, right there. Let's talk a little bit over visualization 1 and whatever people want to do next. You just name it. That's how office hours roll. You say, hey, can you help out with this? And then we get that going next. Stat 201, taking screenshots. Let's go talk about some taking screenshots here with visualization number 1. Here we go. Okay. So to take a screenshot, it's going to differ if you're on a Mac or if you're on a PC. And feel free to check out the visualization playlist, which I'm dropping in the chat right now, where I go over how to take screenshots and I go over lots of other things like how to do the visualizations. So check out that playlist, which Mewbot just put in the chat. So if you are on a PC, use snipping tool. Now you want to hit your Windows key right here and type snipping, and you'll get the following snipping tool over here. So you just want to use snipping tool to take a screenshot like this. And Mac, I prefer, and Blake does Command Shift 4 versus Command Shift 3. Great job, Blake, right there, 100 points. Thank you for stating that. Mac users, you need to hold Command Shift, and I prefer 4. That's what I prefer, Command Shift 4. Command Shift 4 takes an isolated screenshot. Command Shift 3 takes the whole screen. So you have to watch out because when you take screenshots, if you use Command Shift 3 and take the whole screen, you're probably going to end up with a screenshot something like almost there. Really? Oh, let me retake it. If your screenshot looks something like, let's say, this is what you don't want to do for your assignment. Okay. This, technically, you could lose points on. You don't take it with your phone either. Please don't take screenshots with your phone. If you turned in this right here, this is a bad screenshot. It's got your data set, but we're trying to professionally show data to people. We're trying to do good visualizations. Now, I would probably stretch out that window a little bit more, but here's what you can do. 4-letter word, we all know it. If you want to fix this screenshot, just what it. You could get this to where you get the full points. I would probably stretch out the window a little bit more, but this does show your random sample. Graders should count this, but you should lose points. Crop right there. Blake knows you got that. Click the image, click picture format, click crop. That's click the image, click picture format, click crop. And then you want to go to the little black bars right there and drag up. Not like that. You want to drag up on that little black bar right there, right there. Perfect. You want to go over here, drag this in to right there. We're going to make this screenshot look all purty. This should be acceptable. I don't like that it didn't show the rest of it, but that does show the random sample. And there you go. Much better screenshot. Make sure to crop it. Make sure it shows nice. We'll capture all. So you don't have to get all 200. You preferably, this should be fine for the screenshot. Preferably, I like it if people enlarge this a little bit more to show the data right there. Getting all 200 is a lot. I would probably, if I'm screenshotting this normally, I'm going to go right here and do this. If I were to catch too much of something, the grader shouldn't take off for that. But if I really wanted to like clean this up, I'd go here and go to the crop on it, and I would fix this up. Now, we don't have all the points right now because we're missing what? We're missing what right here? There we go. Just clean it up a little bit. Make it look pretty. I got a 100 of the homework and finished it and saved it, but Canvas says 0. It'll take a moment. It should bring it over, Jackson. Let me know if in an hour or two it doesn't. You're welcome, Brandon. So what are we missing on this right now? Good review. And if you're ever worried about doing the assignments correctly, always go over to the rubric and make sure you've entered in everything you need from the rubric. So go over here to data analytics, scroll down to the rubric, and you are missing some stuff right now if you were to turn this in. So what are you missing? You did take a random sample. Your screenshot looks great. But what are you missing right here? You completed the assignment. A lot of people are going to miss this. So you're missing 2 things, but one of them is bonus. What 2 things are you missing? You're missing Discord bonus. So I did that in the other version of it that I did. Is this one where I have more? Can I get the bonus back on? Oh, no. I have to go screenshot my Discord bonus. You are missing your what at the top of the document. Someone's going to lose points on this. I'll give this hint away. You are missing your name. Great job right there. Blake and Brandon, you're missing your name. 100 points in the chat. Brian Stevens right there. Your name. Your name. Not mine. Someone's going to put like Brian Stevens, your name, not mine. That's getting great job right there. What other questions are there? And then make sure to include a screenshot from the Discord where you were posting on the Discord. Let's see. Let me see. Lots of posts on the Discord today. I got to go check it out here in a little bit. But you want to take your post on the Discord and just drop that down there and just have that right there. But lots of people helping out. I've been tagged a little bit on the Discord here. People authorizing, verifying. Oh no, is the bot down? Oh no. What is that saying? Bot seems to have gone down. I still have no access to VM. I tried multiple hours. Still nothing. Dylan says has no access either. I should be able to fix it. That went down at 11. Be able to fix it soon in office hours. Okay, the bot's down. Okay. Why is the bot down? Oh, let's do some quiz questions. Let's do this. Let's check out the quiz question here. I'll figure out the bot here in a little bit. Oh, no. We just switched over the bot to the virtual machine, and why did the bot crash? Did the VM crash? What happened? Why is our bot down? Well, the bot was working perfectly fine on the virtual machine, but now the bot's down and people can't authorize, so I'll be checking into that here. Dun, dun, dun. Need to get people with more access. Okay. Which quiz question should we work? I wish I'd put that. What'd you wish you put? What quiz question should we do? Name the quiz question and we shall do it. Name the quiz question. Just tell me how your quiz question starts, and we'll start up chapter 1 quiz. Which one do you want to go over, Mason? Let me know, and I'm getting the quiz ready right here as you ask. Ian Walker? There's an Ian Walker one or something? What's the Ian Walker one? Why am I so tired? I got up early. That's why. I forget so quickly. Like, I'm tired. Why am I tired? Ian Walker. How's the question start? Replace. Okay. I got the quiz up and going now. Ian Walker? Which one are you thinking, Mason? They still pull in my ear a little bit. Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe I've got weirdly shaped ears. They're all right, Blake. Like, adios, Brandon. Adios. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting used to them. Oh, cool. There it is. Thank you so much. Yeah. Oh, yeah, let's find it. Oh my god, there's so many questions. Ian Walker, a psychologist at the University of Bath. I think it's the last question. Yeah, it literally is the last question. So yeah, let's do this, Mason. Thank you, Mason. Okay, let's take right here 2220 Stat Tool 1 Chapter 1 quiz, Ian Walker, Bath University. Okay, let's go check this out right here on the main screen. Okay, so we got Ian Walker at a University of Bath. It's probably in England. There's a Bath, England, and a Bath, New York. Wondered whether drivers treat bicycle riders differently when they wear a helmet or not, so he rigged up a camera or an ultrasonic sensor to figure out how close people were traveling to him on the road. So when you think about this right here, who is he studying? Well, he is studying what? Is he studying all the cars on the road? Is he studying bike riders? Or what is he interested in? He's looking at how close cars were when they passed cyclists. That's a huge hint. Yeah, I know, right? Oh, mine has every single version. So I can do any question you want right now. I've got every question. No, yours has 6. Well, he is understanding the cars, but more specifically, he's wondering about each instance of when they pass a cyclist. That's what he's kind of analyzing, the who that he's analyzing. He's looking into cars, but he's looking at cars that pass cyclists when that happens. Like, that's the who. A little bit confusing right here, but each instance of a car passing a cyclist. Identify the what for the study. So this is kind of what he's analyzing. Now, there is only one answer to this one. It's weird. It has multiple responses. But the what that he's analyzing here is going to be what. So if you look up here, he's analyzing, he's wearing a helmet and not wearing a helmet, and he's looking at the what. And there's only one answer here. It's weird that it has multiple, but there's only one answer. The distance at which cars pass him. So he's analyzing the distance at which cars pass him. Identify the population of interest. This is going to be, what are we analyzing right here? It's going to be like the group of interest, the full thing we're trying to analyze. Can we over a question? Yeah, Kyle, you got it. So he's analyzing, yes. Which would it be, A, B, C, or D here? I want to see what you say. Do you think it'd be A, B, C, or D? These questions are pretty tricky. Watch me get one wrong. These questions are pretty tricky. A, B, C, or D. What does he want to understand completely? What does he want to completely understand? That's what a population is. It says of interest, but that just means the thing we want to understand. When you say population of interest, it's still just population. Of interest is just a fancy way to say the population that we want to understand. So you say population of interest. It is going to be C, all cars which pass the researcher on the bike. No. So this is the good answer right there. 100 points. Pretty sure it's going to be D, because all cars that pass the researcher on the bike, and good answers right there. C, Mason, is actually his sample. So all cars that pass the researcher on the bike is the sample, because that's where he got his data from. But he wants to understand all drivers when they pass cyclists. So he's trying to make inferences to about like everybody. So the population is everything we want to understand, which is all drivers who pass a cyclist. Like, he wants to understand for all drivers, but his sample is going to be the cars that passed him. So this would be the sample right here. Does that make sense? Like, the difference between the sample is the data that he collected, all cars that passed the researcher. So that was the sample data he had. And then the population of interest would be all cars, like for everything. So sample is the data we collect to analyze. the population is what we kind of expand our understanding to. Watch me get one wrong. Woo! Woo! New question this semester, so a little worried. But almost tricked me. I do admit I looked and saw that, Mason. So I looked and I looked at it a half second. I was like, no, that's the sample. That's the sample right there. So the sample is what the researcher collects on, and then they try to extrapolate or put their views onto a larger group. So great question right there. Good tricky stuff. This one was maybe the trickiest. The who. It's kind of the data that was collected. I don't like calling it the who. I just say what was collected as the sample. And each instance, I'd prefer to say that the sample data was this. Like we collected data on who was like people passing and the distances they were passed. So each instance. And then what did they collect on the distance that was passed? So the who is each instance. And then we collected what? We collected the distance they passed on. Good question right there. We'll leave this up. Let me know if you have more questions on this. Pretty good, but I'd probably call this the sample data right here. The sample data was collected from each instance, and we collected what from it? The distance that was passed. Let's go here. Is there an option? You can't check your answers on the quiz. Good question, Jackson. You get 5 attempts on the quiz. And do remember, I'll work any question on the quiz. So if you're stuck on a question, especially in 201, I work all the questions. So if you want me to work a question, just swing by office hours, especially on the tougher ones. Great job being here. But Jackson, drop another question in the chat. We've got a question from Kyle right now. Question 3, homework 1, 474. Kyle, you got it. Let me drop that in the chat right over here. We're going to go over here. Question 3. The bot is down. No. We go. Question 3. DS 474. Homework 1. Question 3. Okay, let's go check this out. Which one is 474? I had this up earlier. I think I've got it. Okay, let's go check this out. Here we go. Okay, Kyle, question 3 is going to be this one right here, right? The following chunk defines box to be the box office column of the movie data frame. So if we take a look right here, what connects data frames to vectors? What connects a data frame right here? So you have a data frame and you have a vector inside of it. So what connects data frames to vectors? Like data frame, vector. So just reviewing, we should know this pretty quickly, but we're kind of starting from the beginning with a lot of our knowledge. So like what connects a data frame to a vector? And you can see it all over here on the side of the screen. $sign right there, Kyle knows for 100 right there. The $sign connects a data frame to a vector. So it says go to the movie data frame, and there's no movie data frame. Let's load in our data. So that should load in all the data right there. Go to the movie data frame. Delete off the code we don't need. Go to the movie data frame. Now we're in the movie data frame. Go to the box office vector inside of it, which we can see right here. If we go to movie data frame, there's the box office vector right here. There's the box office of those movies. And now we're displaying it on the bottom of the screen. So we're just seeing all the box office for all those movies right there. And it reaches a max print, which means it's printed so much on the screen, it just stops before flagging your screen. I'm back. What is this? This is RStudio. We're doing a little quantitative data asking what is the box office of each of these movies. We've got all different movies right here, from the top grossing movies with box offices that were huge, like 405 million. Avatar, which is that just US? Oh, there's the box. Oh, 3.1 billion. I think that's worldwide. So Avatar apparently made 3.1 billion worldwide. Lots of other things. Is that something we have to download? This is 474. 474. We're doing a little 474. Let me know which if you're in 474. I'll help you get it and download it. Star Wars Force Awakens, Jurassic World, The Avengers, Furious 7, all these movies right here, and their directors and their box offices and their distributions. And then we're taking and we're just storing a vector called box right here of the movie's box offices. So, no worries. This is quantitative, though. This is quantitative data. So when you look at this right here, it wants us to do the following. It says, from these, take the median of these values. Take the median. All the code is to be put in a chunk after the set of questions. Expect to use the which command for many of the parts. Okay. So now we're going to find certain things right here. Let's go and put a chunk right here. and a chunk is just where we run code. And so now we're going to put Q3A. How would I just look at all the elements of box office? I might do a little bit of this, a little bit. I try to do different but similar work a lot of times. How would I know, right? I scared of there. How would I just look at all the elements of box? What now? Don't leave this in here once we write it. But how would I look at all the elements of box? How would I just call box and print it to the screen? How would I say if I say just show me all the elements of box? Like what code could I write? Just type box, right? And then run it. And we just go right here, we type box and we run it. And there you go. Brandon scaring you for 100 points right there. And then how would I take the median of that? So then how, Kyle, would I take the median of all the box office to find the median box office value? How would I then, if I have box and I want to take the median of it? And I'll show you something really cool here, Brandon, because you'll see it's there. Kyle, you got it. Now, what's really neat is that if there's no NAs, it should work. There's no NAs. We'd have to do NA remove.true if there were NAs there. But watch this. How hard is it? Now, don't write all these codes. How hard is it to get the mean? Brandon, do you have any guesses of how we'd get the mean? How would we get the mean right here? Instead of getting the median, how would we get the mean? These are why I love using code. So that's the median box office right there. The median box office was $72 million. Well, so what about this code would we change? What about this code would we change right here? So it says median box. So what would you write for code? Brandon, this is where the 500 points. Let's do it. What would you change the code to instead of median box to get the mean? Instead of median box, what would you do to get the mean of the box office? Instead of median parentheses box to get the mean, what would you do? I promise it's not a trick question. So be like, okay, Brian got the median by typing median. How would I get the mean of box? How would I get the mean value? What would I type? So I used median to get... Yeah, Blake right there with the 500. Great job right there. Teamwork right there. All we do is just change this to mean right there. Yeah, that's it. There's the mean. How would I get the standard deviation? Standard deviation. How would I get the variance? Variance. How would I get the IQR? IQR. Any idea how to get the max? You just type max. Any idea how to get the range? There's the range. Any idea how to get the min? There's the min. 5-number summary, quantile. There's the 5-number summary right there. All of this nice and easy. Summary of it. You can summary of it. You want to get a histogram of it. Just type hist. There's a histogram. Figure's too large for margins. There's your histogram. Brian. You want to run the Brian function on it? Watch this. Function, save into Brian. And then we save right here X. And we say plot. And then we say X. And guess what? Now you can run the Brian function on it. You can run Brian of box and it'll plot it for you. There you go. There's the Brian function right there on the data because we created a custom function named Brian. And now the Brian function plots the data. That's all the Brian function does. And it also says, thank you for running Brian function. So now we run the Brian function and it plots the data and says, thank you for running Brian function. Dot plot. It kind of, this is a indice plot. Great job right there, Blake. It kind of is like a dot plot. Is it? Let me think. No, it's actually a bivariate visualization. It's actually a scatter plot, which is kind of like a dot plot because it does the indice. It's actually bivariate. I don't know how to make a dot plot in R. I don't love dot plots. Let me see real quick. Let me see. Dot plot in R. Okay. Dot plots. GG or dot plots. Okay, so here is a dot plot. Let me get it right here. Here's how to make a dot plot. Library ggplot. We're gonna make a pretty dot plot right here. And we don't need it. We just need a Y. The Y, and we... Oh, so let's go to movie, and box office. What was it called? It was called box office, right? There it is, box office. Might work. Did work. Oh, it didn't like it. What didn't it like? What default bins? Well, didn't it like that? Aesthetic Y. Let's go to X equals 2 seconds. I'm going to see if this works. And then we'll do more questions right here. Star. This is going to be scary. It's a bad idea. Oh, it is. Oh, it's about to display it. Oh, it's a bad idea. This is a bad idea right here. Gotta leave. Have a blast. Nice job. Oh my gosh. This is based on star. There's too many stars. There's too many stars. There's too many stars in here. Rating. We should go rating instead. So this is dot plots side by side. Did I not? Oh, I didn't type rating properly. Go right here. So let's see. This one might look actually decent. There's just too much data for the dot plots. So these are some pretty crazy dot plots right here. I wouldn't use dot plots like that. I'd probably do like a geom box plot, and I might be able to switch it nice here and quick. So then we're going to do a few more questions here in a second. But all this can be done pretty quick and easily. Let's go to geom box plot and just try that and see if we actually get better data with this. And I don't know if those are going to like it. There we go. There we go. There, it's much better. Much better displayed side-by-side box plots. I missed class yesterday. No, I hope you're doing all right. This is for BAS 474, by the way. Yep. Let me know if you have questions. These are just side-by-side box plots right here showing the box office by rating. And what do you kind of notice right away with this data? And what's really cool, I'm going to show you something really amazing about this. I want you to look at this data really quickly. And I want you to tell me what you notice. What do you notice about this data right here? If you were an executive, what would you tell me about movies and their box office? What would you tell me, especially if you look kind of, we could remove out some of these values, but if you look in here, and these are the median in millions, what do you notice? Ooh, that's interesting. What do you notice about these movies and their box office? PG-13. Well, PG-13 has the highest potential. That's Avatar, I think, right there. So PG-13 has the highest potential. Great job, Blake, right there. Good answers. PG is doing well, and surprisingly, so the median right there is 159, 116. Interestingly enough, G-rated movies do really well. The G-rated movies don't have as high of a ceiling as these. No G-rated movies done as well as some of these ridiculous blockbusters right up here. Like your blockbusters that do insane are going to be like your PG-13s. If you look at the upper bounds of this, I think it'll still keep the x-axis on there. It's really, these are like the mega hit movies. A lot of them are going to be PG, G, and PG-13. Well, not as many G, but your real money makers are your PG and your PG-13s, it looks like. G still has a consistent good amount. But your R-rated movies, if you look at R-rated movies, they're just not, they don't have as high of a ceiling. Like Deadpool did really well. I think it's the second highest R-rated movie next to American Sniper. But you really just don't see them breaking this $1 billion worldwide over here. So we can do some pretty interesting analytics nice and quick on this and see that there are some patterns in this data. And these are all box plots right here. Once again, I said I don't like dot plots. My dot plot came out looking horrible. Not a big fan of dot plots. Side-by-side box plots are going to visualize a quantitative Y variable with a categorical X on the bottom. So I'm breaking apart each of these box offices by the rating. So Kyle, more to the questions right here that we have. I'll do a few more of these. It says all the elements. So that's just the median. Don't write all this. You're not meant to write everything I write. You're meant to go through and kind of look at what we're doing right here. Only the elements which are less than 10. So how could we find the elements that are less than 10? So I want to go to my box office vector. And how could I find the elements that are less than 10? Do a few more of these. How could I find the elements which are less than 10? Start by doing this right now. We can use the which, but let's just find if something's less than 10. So you are right. You are right. You're on the right track. Let's just ask, is something less than 10? So just find out first if something's less than 10. You're on the right track. How do we find out if something's less than 10? How do we find out if something is less than 10? Just not complicated. I promise I'm not trying to complicate it. Let's find out if something. Yep. And then we just write, great job, Kyle, right there, 100 points. we say, is it less than 10, right? So now how do I find the positions? Now you're on the right track. How do I find the positions of the things that are less than 10? How do I find the positions of the things that are less than 10? I just want the positions now. You see how there's a true right there? I want to know where the trues are at. So now to find where the trues are at, I put this inside of a what? Moskin, great job. How do I find where those trues are at? Well, kind of, but the brackets are used for positions. We don't have positions yet. We just want to turn these trues and falses into positions and find out where the trues are at. You're on the right track. I think I said it earlier. So how do I take trues and falses and find out the positions of the trues? Good note to have. To find the positions of the trues, put your logical vector inside of a what? So I want to turn this into positions where it tells me, and Joey, if you don't know, you can say, I don't know, but this is good just like practice to like, and you'll be like, oh, okay, yeah. How do I take this vector right here and turn it into where the trues are at? I put it inside of a... No, don't worry. 100 points. Thank you for saying that. No worries. We put it inside of a which. So the which tells us where the positions of the trues are at. Does that make sense? So in position 3040, there is a true. Does that make sense? So if I were to go through this data set, and I were to go to position 3040, whoops, see, I used the wrong brackets even. I used coding brackets. It's 1. Or if I go to position this right here, it's 6.7. So this is telling me the positions of the things that are less than 10. Does that make sense what this code does? Is something less than 10, tell me the positions. So this is which with parentheses. This function takes the true-false vector and then returns to the positions of where the trues are at. Like in position 3 of the vector, so we could literally go look at the data set, the movie data set, and you could see the third movie, which is Affliction, had a budget of 9.6. Or we're doing box office. Box office is 9.6. So that is true. And then we received a 3 because in position 3, it is less than 10. That's what the 3 there means. Does that make sense why it says 3? Also in 6, which is right there, 6 was also less than 10, then 9. It's interesting. There's a lot of early on, and then it starts to space out really. Oh, that's weird data. But does this make sense right here that which returns the positions of the trues? So what does which take? It takes, think of an L word. The which always takes a what test. What class is this for 474, Jackson? Good question right there. Jackson, if you're working on something, let us know and we'll work on it next. Whatever you want to work on. The which always has inside of it what's. You always put, starts with an L, this sort of class. That's when I heard class. You always put this sort of object inside there, a what object. Hint trues or falses. Inside of a which always goes trues or falses, which means they're a what class. Like what type of object is that? Like inside of a which, we always put, starts with an L. We always put what's. Logical. Good guess right there. Logical. So logicals are trues and falses. So a logical vector right here, like if I call this like vector, just giving it a name. If I check the class of it, it'll be called logical. So a logical means trues and falses, like it's just true, false, logical checks. And so when you're running the code right here on this, if we say box less than 10, this creates a logical vector to check to see if something which are 10 or less. So we got to say less than equal to 10. It's probably going to be about the same. Less than equal to 10 gives us if it's less than or equal to 10. And then the which tells us the positions. And then usually I go here and save this as positions. And then I go and grab the positions. Now we're just one step away. All I have to do is take the what. Can you fill out the code in the chat right here, Kyle, to finish this? Can you finish this code right here on how to get the median of this? So now I have the movies that are less than 10 in box office. How do I finish this off here now? So now what do I do to finish it? What do I do to finish it now? Well, median position will tell me close. Median position tells me the median position. So that's the median position. But now we have the values in the positions because this goes to the box office vector and returns the values in the positions. These are all box offices that are 10 or less. Make sure to include 10 or less. So now what should I do to get the median for these? What should I do to get the median for these? You're right there. Good work, Kyle. Good practice. You're right there. And then we'll do one more here. But if anyone has questions, let me know. So what should you do here? Very close, Kyle. 100 points again. The last one is positions. So since it's positions, you would do the square brackets, and that's the median for the box offices that are less than 10. So if you do something like this, let's go to alphabet or letters, excuse me. If you go here and do this, this calls the second letter. Now, if you do this, which won't work, this treats letters as a function. It doesn't like it. Could not find function letters. Do you see the small difference right here? I'll scroll down so you can see it again. But the difference right here is the square brackets call letter in position 2, and then the parentheses say use the letter's function. Also, you notice it changes colors right there. So this says go to the positions in the box vector and run median function on it. So this says you're running a function when you see the parentheses right there. So this says in the letters vector, which letters vector is just a vector of letters, go to position 2, which is capital B. This says use the letters function and run argument 2. So when you see the parentheses, it's a function right there being used, but there is no letters function. So the letters function won't do it. Yeah. What other questions do you have, Kyle? Let me know. Excellent work right here. Keep it up. I gotta wake up. I need like a third cup of coffee today. I need an energy drink. Third cup of coffee, third energy drink or something. Get some more energy. Do you want to do one more here, Kyle? We'll work through one more right here because these are tough. I can see I'm always worried that if people start these really late, they just get to it and they say, well, I don't know what to do. I don't know. You bet. Which one do you want to do? C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. What do you want to do? Heading out. Good to see you here, Blake. Thank you so much for swinging by. Another 100 points in the chat. Thank you, Blake. Which one do you want to do? C, D, E, F, G. We could do one of the shorter ones, one of the harder ones. F. Let's take a look at F right here. Okay. So F says, ooh, it's a tricky one. The elements this through this, including the elements this, these turn out to be movies from 2006. Hence, use the shortcut to make the integer sequence. Okay. So how do we make an integer sequence going from this number to this number? What's the quickest way to make an integer sequence? Like if I said write the numbers 1 to 10. If I said write the numbers 1 to 10, how would you write the numbers 1 to 10 really quickly? Remember, I don't know it's a valid answer, but we're just checking our knowledge. How would we write the numbers 1 to 10? Is this question 4? Something like that, right? Question 3. How'd you write the numbers? Great job. And actually, good job, Kyle, right there. Don't put it in brackets, though. That would use it as positions. And always check your code, like when you do it. That won't work right there, but you were right. 1 through 10. But we're gonna be using that in a second right here. So those are the numbers 1 through 10. All we're gonna do now is change it to these numbers here. We're gonna copy paste. So right here. Take this number, and now we've written the sequence of numbers. So great job right there. But we could just call this sequence. And now that's stored as the sequence. Does that make sense? I like doing things in steps. You could even throw it in a parentheses, but not a square bracket. The parentheses is just allowing it to evaluate, and I prefer to do that a lot of times when we just have the sequence. How are we doing? Type of wire, and in the chat, everything makes sense. I've just created a sequence of numbers that goes from 1028 to 1197, and it's just an integer sequence of numbers. Everything makes sense right there? Oh, yes, it does. Nice job. Okay, so now we need to go and we need to get those elements. So how do I go to you got this, the next step. How do I go to the box vector and return just that sequence, like just the things in those positions? So I'm going to say go to this position, go to this position. The positions I want are from the sequence. How do I go to the box vector and return just those things in those sequence? So how would I go to the box vector and return things? Close. That will run box as a function. So if you use the parentheses, that says run function box on sequence. But box is an object, and we want to return the things in the position. So small little correction. You got this. So that would run the function box, but we don't want to run box as a function. We want to say box is an object. Return back the things in the positions of the sequence numbers. So you're super close. Little small change. You got it. So we got the box, and we want to turn back the positions in sequence, like where the things are that are in the sequence. You got it. Yep. That's it. Another 100 points. You got it. There you go. So now we just take the what of this. Can you figure out the next step right here? We just take the what of it. And Kyle, you've been answering pretty much all of this. You've been just little corrections here and there, but you're right. It's brackets, square brackets. And now we just take the what of this. You can actually highlight your code. That's it. Kyle, another 100 points. You got it. See, so there you go. We could even confirm that these are the right movies by going to the sequence. And let's say check. And we go to movies. And we go to the sequence values. And I go to the check. It says they should be like 2011 movies. Or 2006 movies, I think it said, yeah. So this confirms that these are the movies. It might all be 2006. But yeah, it looks like, yeah, it's all 2006 movies. So what came out in 2006? I'm good. So what was the highest blockbusters in 2006? The highest blockbusters in 06 was Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, The Da Vinci Code, my gosh. Ice Age, The Meltdown, Casino Royale, good movie. Night at the Museum, Cars, X-Men, The Last Stand, X3. Oh, God, X3. Superman Returns came out the same year as X3? Wow, and Over the Hedge with Ben Folds playing the song at the end, The Devil Wears Prada, The Departed. Borat 2's already out. You're welcome, Kyle. Excellent work. Any other questions right now? Click. Oh, man, with Adam Sandler. Oh, man. Open season. Scary Movie 4. Can we do... Yeah, of course, Jackson. Anytime. See you next time, Kyle. Let's have here. We'll do some 201. Which one are you working on 201? Chapter 1 quiz. Of course, Jackson. Anytime. Just feel free to drop those questions, and I'll always add them in, especially when office hours starts really getting pretty busy. I always want every office hours to be busy, but it's chill right now. We're just chilling. So we'll put here... Chapter 1 quiz. Which one you working on? A researcher conducts a survey about the consistent of medical examinations. Researcher medical exams. Okay, let's go find it. Ken, Brian, do it. Ken, Brian, do it. Is it... There's so many questions. Researching this survey. Have it here in just a moment. Here we go. It's a big one. Let's go check this out here. Here we go. Question number 7. Right here at 53:47. Okay, a researcher conducts an extensive survey. They collect all the data of an interview medical exam with a representative sample of 5,000 people a year. This includes demographic information, socioeconomical, dietary, and other health-related questions. The examination consists of a medical, dental, physiological measurements, as well as laboratory tests administered by highly trained medical professionals. Describe the sample, the population, the who, and the what of the study. So the sample is going to be what they collect data on. The population is everything or everyone they want to understand. The who is who they're trying to understand, and the what is what they collect. I'm not a huge fan of saying the who's and the what's. I don't usually talk that way when I talk about data. Describe the sample and the population. So the sample is going to be the literal group they take information on. Like your sample is what you collect data on. So the sample is definitely going to be the 5,000 people right here. That's what they get the data on. Who do they want to understand? Anytime you say population, it's who do they want to understand? They don't want to understand the 5,000 people. They're using the 5,000 people as a sample to understand all people. So they want to understand all people. So anytime you hear population, you think, why are they doing this? They're trying to understand, and even says the sample's the 5,000. They're trying to understand like just people in general. But they want to take the results from the sample. I put all people for both. So all people for both. Well, so the sample, the population is all employees. No, it's definitely going to be the population is all people. The sample is the 5,000. Does that make sense, Jackson? Right there. I put all people for both. It should be all people's the population. They want to understand everybody, and they sample 5,000 people. Good questions, comments, Jackson. 100 points right there. Awesome. Describe the who and what of the study. Okay, so the who A who is going to be the people they're collecting data on. The who is the selected subjects. So we got the selected subjects, and the what is all the measurements they take right there. There we go. Who is the selected subjects? Who did they collect data on? I wish I wouldn't say the who. No one's going to talk like that. They say, who did we sample? So the selected subjects, the one who are in the study, are the selected subjects. That's one of my least favorite ones. If you watch the earlier version of this week, I did get that one wrong because I selected the who is all people. I prefer to say we want to understand all people, so let's take a sample of 5,000, which will be our sample. The population will be all people. I don't think you communicate well if you're like, who is the who of the study? You say, well, who did we collect data on? So I wish they just said, who did we collect data on? Yeah, that's what you did too. Yeah. Oh, that's what you're saying, right? Yeah. And you get 5 attempts at this, so feel free to learn from my mistakes. I would rather they say, who did we collect data on? And that's, you don't go to a company and say, who is the who? You say, who did we collect data on? Who's our sample? Everyone knows, if you know data, you understand that. Like, who did we sample? We sampled 5,000 people. Who do we want to understand is the population. So who do we want to understand is the population. But for this one specifically, you're talking this. Do you have another one, Jackson, you want to do? Just let me know any other ones. There's some tricky ones in here. Definitely 1 or 2 tricked me. So I understand how they could trick students. We got some new questions this year. So I've been working on them, practicing tricky questions. Let me know if you got another question. Let's do it. Jackson, great work right there. Did you get that 100 yet? Get that 100. You get 5 attempts at the quiz, and you can screenshot your quizzes. You can ask any of the questions during office hours. You can go back and review them. So I'm always all about like, hey, join in, ask a question. You get stuck, let me know. Might end just a few minutes early. Might try to grab a little more lunch. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna sleep all night tonight. And go to bed at like 7 p.m. Sleep 20 hours. Not really. Can't believe the weekend's almost here. First full week of class almost done. And then we're going to have Labor Day next week. So we'll only have a 3-day week. Oh my gosh. 3-day week? Then the second week of class will be done. So quick. So quick. Might end a little bit early today. We're doing another office hours here in a moment. But it's your time to ask questions. I might go check out with the Discord. So we might end just a tiny bit early today. Looks like people are getting things done. It's a slower week the first 2 weeks. Then things start to pick up as we get into the more difficult material. And the assignments start to build up. Any last questions from anybody right now? I might go see what's going on with the bot. I got to log into the virtual machine and see why the bot stopped running. No idea where the bot stopped. Well, if there's no questions, I'll be back here in just a little bit. We'll be doing some R code. Until then, bye for now, everyone. Bye. We'll be back here real soon doing some R code. Bye, everybody. 100 points in the chat.